After 5 years of sim drifting and being asked by thousands of viewers, I set out to answer the question, does sim drifting teach you how to drift in real life? About to find out. This all started out on a Thrustmaster TMX doing some street driving and street drifting on Forza, and it has snowballed into this. Fast forward years later, and I have a really legit sim racing rig sponsored by Moza Sim Racing and Next Level Sim Racing. And with over 1,000 hours on my current rig playing simulators such as Assetto, Corsa, and BeamNG, what people claim to be the most realistic and close to real life driving sims you can get, I wondered the same question that I got asked hundreds of times a day for the last however many years of full-time streaming sim racing out of my van, and that is, can you do this in real life? So I've set out to answer that exact question. Today we're going to be taking the van to the nearest racetrack that I can rent a drift car at and see if all my sim racing skills are worth anything in the real world. So the nearest racetrack that I'm finding that I'll rent a drift car out to any bozo like myself is Apple Valley Speedway, also known as Grange Motorsports. You guys may have seen this track on channels like Donut Media or any other of the big automotive YouTubers on the West Coast. It's not too far away, it's not too expensive, and there is an opening at their next drift event for a rental spot. So I have 3 days to prepare for renting an in real life drift car and trying my best to not send it straight into a wall. So I downloaded a modded map for Assetto Corsa of the exact racetrack that I'll be driving on. I have downloaded a modded 350Z drift car that is very comparable to the exact 350Z that I'll be renting in California. And since I live in my van full time and everything runs off of solar power, I have limited power, so I only have a couple of hours per day for the next few days to be able to prepare for this event, so I got to practicing as soon as I could. Feeling pretty comfortable with the map overall. There's a lot of corners that I'm really struggling with. There's a couple of just weird transitions on this track that I don't know how I'm supposed to hit. Hopefully it'll just make more sense when I'm there in person. Alright. Feeling pretty controlled. Track's looking smooth. I'm feeling about as ready and comfortable as I can ever be, I think. I have practiced this track hundreds of times now. I'm feeling pretty confident on the layout of it, the familiarity. I wouldn't say that I have the track memorized by any means, but I'm getting to the point where I feel pretty comfortable on the majority of the corners. I'd say that another few laps here and I'm going to be as close as to being ready as I can be. This corner I spin out on almost every single time, and I just hope that in real life I won't. As you can see in here, we're in front of the skid pad. We're here. As you can see, we're in front of the skid pad. There's a few other people in front of me that are going to be putting their sim drifting skills to the test as well. So I'm excited to see how they do and talk to them about it. It's a high-speed track, man. I was talking to these guys who are also sim drifters that are first time on the track, first time in a real car. We were all in agreement that this looks pretty gnarly in person, man. It is a high-speed track, and there's some good drivers here. So we're going to start off on the skid pad, start with some donuts, then some figure eights, some wide donuts, and hopefully feel like I'm ready for the track after that. Let's see how this goes. But before I get behind the wheel, these guys are taking a stab at it, and the one guy out of the group with sim drifting experience was the one with enough confidence to start things off here. At first he was looking a little rough, but then you could see the adjustment period happening where he was getting used to the car. I was starting to get nervous in my own abilities, but after seeing how well he started doing with the small amount of sim racing he's done, I was starting to build some hope. There's a link down below to my Etsy store. I'd appreciate you guys considering ordering some of the merch or checking it out. There's also a link to Moza sim racing products that get me a small commission. I'd appreciate the help on expensive videos like this. Click the like button if you enjoyed it, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see future content from me. Thank you. Back to the video. With his 90 seconds of skid pad time coming to an end, you'll notice how much more dialed his figure eights are starting to look towards the end. While they're not perfect, they are controlled. He was deemed ready for the track, and he switched seats with his buddy and tried to coach his friends through it with no sim drifting experience, and it went about as you could imagine. I wish I filmed more of the non-sim drifters' attempts, but this clip pretty much sums up the entirety of it, and it was starting to make me question how things were going to go when I was behind the wheel. Just like that, it's my turn to hop in the car. It's time to put my 1,000+ hours over 5 years of practicing to the test. Nervous and excited, it's time to do the thing.
Have you ever drifted before?
I have like 1,500 hours on a sim rig, but not really in person.
You're good. Assetto?
Yeah, mostly.
Right,
mostly. Assetto, Beam.
Best drivers.
Sick.
Yeah. So
Sick.
go ahead and hop in. The only thing that's going to cost you money other than driving right now is if you hit the light bulbs. I believe they're like $1,500 a piece.
Oh yeah, we're chilling on that.
Yeah, try not to do that shit.
Word.
You can throw it in second, but second gear you're going to be using most of the donut bit.
Okay.
All right, and then obviously it's higher risk of hitting the light bulbs at that point.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see what you got.
Sick. Here we go. Does sim drifting teach you how to drift in real life? About to find out. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so run second gear.
Cool.
Got it, fool.
Sick.
Look, other than that, yeah, fool. Other than that,
Sweet.
what you want to do, second gear, obviously it's going to be a little bit more throttle. I'm sure you'll figure it out quickly from what I just saw. But yeah, you're good, fool.
Sick.
Yeah, good shit.
Yoo-hoo. At this point, the hype was high. I threw it in second gear. But the Z was acting kind of funny. It's bogging down on me. Oh, word. Should I kill it or?
Oh, no, you're good. Did it just die out? I might have to bring the gas over here.
I felt like I did all right. I was super stoked. I knew my driving could have been a lot better, but when we're re-looking at the clip here, not only does my driving look pretty good from the outside, but if you watch the left-hand side of the screen, you can see that the homies were more hyped than I even was on it. And a quick replay of the first second gear slide that I locked into, trying to figure out those wide donuts. You can see that the homies were super hyped before the car started bogging down.
Fucking last. If you went first, I would have been like, man, fuck this shit, I'm going home.
Dude, that feels so good.
That was crazy. It was swinging. You were going out too. It was like, hold up. Fucking wait. And then you fucking hit the, and then you fucking connected it, and I was like, man, get this fucker out of here. Nice, man. Good job.
Thank you, man. Went better than I was planned, that's for sure.
I wish his better than planned was better than mine. I'm not ready for it. You guys, we'll support you.
With about half of my skid pad time used up and the car refueled, it was time for round two. At this point, it was starting to feel like I was driving on ice. I'm assuming the tires were close to shot, but to be honest, I was just struggling to find the line in second gear between keeping the wheels spinning but not spinning out. It was a pretty fine line before the car felt like it was going to grip up and bog down or spin around. Embarrassed of spinning out 2 times in a row and knowing I only have a few seconds left on the skid pad, I try to lock in here. You can hear I do a couple more dumps of the clutch and I really try to focus up and keep the car from spinning out, and I've started to feel a little more comfy.
Sick, man.
The track, ready for the main track?
Before we move on to the main track, I wanted to quickly compare some of my driving versus somebody who hasn't sim drifted before. This was one of my better runs, starting in first gear, and I chuck it in second gear right about there, taking it wide and then tightening it up around the cone, still in second gear, popping the clutch a good couple of times to keep it moving. Compared to somebody who looks to not have had any sim practice, this is what you'd expect to see their first time trying to swing a car.
Sick. Am I good to roll?
Yep.
Sick. Cool. Thank you guys. Yep.
Just don't hit them.
Alright, first lap on the track. Feel a little tight in this car, a little small. Alright, first lap I'm supposed to just field out. Steering wheel was tiny. No drifts. They told me just to feel the track out. Big sweeper. It's nice and tight through here. Oh wow, it's real tight. I know this shit.
With this E36 coming up behind me hot, I need to pick up my pace around the track. The nerves are starting to outweigh the excitement. It's feeling extremely real that I am on a track, and it is time to see if sim drifting teaches you how to drift in real life. As I got back to the start of the track, the flag guys were hyping me up and waving me on. The practice run is out of the way. There's nothing to do but send it down the straight and make my way into the very first corner.
Okay, first spin out, first corner.
By this point, I'm nearly in full panic mode. Almost all the confidence that I came into this with is gone. And I've been tugging on the handbrake more than I ever should have touched it throughout the whole day. And just when I thought things couldn't get any worse,
We're going reverse.
Oh shit. God damn it. Fuck. I only know it one way.
and just like that, the track that I practiced hours on, I'm now driving reversed, which I didn't practice once. not trained for the track to be reversed. Somehow, even while driving the track backwards, I still spin out on the corner that I spun out on tons of times practicing. This corner I spin out on almost every single time, and I just hope that in real life I won't. Back at the track, we're on our second lap around. This is our first lap in reversed, and I must say that this Z was much different than the one that I was in the drift pad. It's a way different size steering wheel and a different gear ratio, so I was still kind of adjusting to this car. And yes, I use the handbrake way too much. I am well aware. But other than that, I wasn't doing too bad for my first time on a track. With that being said, you can see just on the second lap, I'm starting to get a little bit more trust in the car. I'm starting to look a little more familiar with it, and we're starting to kind of slide. And on the topic of dumping clutches, as we cross over the finish line for our third lap, the first corner into the third lap, I do what I should have been doing this whole time and put some trust in the clutch. And then we come up on my favorite corner. Woo! Majorly disappointed and embarrassed with myself for spinning out again. I kind of lock in for a second here. Driving's far from perfect. Hell, it's hardly good, but I'm having an insanely good time at this point and starting to get the adrenaline rush I've been waiting for years. It's very clear I'm starting to trust the process a little bit more, gaining speed, kicking the clutch more, staying in the RPMs, and just hucking that thing. I know I only have 2 more laps left, including this one that I'm on, so I'm starting to really try to make good use of my time here. Every time I spin out this corner. That sketchy high-speed fishtail coming out of the last corner, we cross the finish line and we have one more lap to put our sim drifting skills to the test, but I'm getting waved to come into the pits first. Woohoo!
Gonna give it a second to cool off.
Sick.
Do you know how many more laps you're trying to do?
I'll do one more.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Just one more.
If you could do one lap without drifting to cool the car off, and then do one more.
Cool.
Yeah, good shit. You look fucking good out there.
Thank you, man. It feels awesome.
Yeah.
So with that dude that just crashed, we're all kind of having to wait, take a break, wait for him to get pulled out of the way. Give some time for the car to cool off. The steering wheel's tiny, it's driving me nuts. I feel crammed in here. I feel like an ogre crammed into this thing. But overall, it feels awesome, dude. It's so much fun. I think sim drifting absolutely teaches you in real life drifting. Big shout out to Drift Zone Booking for making this possible, man. $25 per lap to get you out on a track is such a steal. Problem is it's addicting. Somehow I managed to get in the front of the train of everybody waiting for this car to get moved. I think we're about to be able to go any second here. With a train of like 10 cars piled up behind me, I gotta do my best to not spin out on the first corner. Knowing that this is one of my last laps, I drive how I should have been driving this whole time, with a little bit more confidence and truly just trying to get it done. I didn't say that I drove good this lap by any means, but better. I'm honestly shocked at how many times I've spun out and how much I've been yanking on the handbrake watching over this footage, but for the first day on the track, it should have went a whole lot worse than it did. One more lap. Still unhappy with my current performance. I don't think I'm done quite yet. Last lap, let's get her done. Just when I feel like I'm having a good run, I spin it out one more time, and then it even gets worse from there. A classic money shift right after spinning out slows me down enough for the Z36 to get up behind me and really put the pressure on That's it, that's all she wrote. Sim drifting absolutely teaches you how to drift in real life. Unbelievable.
That was backwards.
Fuck, I wasn't ready for it, but fun. So does sim drifting teach you how to drift in real life? I think it's a pretty easy answer, although you guys saw me sucking on the track. I spun out a good handful of times. I was pulling on the handbrake like a complete noob, but at the end of the day, I sucked a lot less than I would have if I had no sim racing experience. The last lap that I drove on the track, I finally locked in and actually started hucking the car around and just trying to trust the muscle memory of it and didn't think too much about the rest. I think if I could have another 5 laps on that track, now that I got that first day excitement out of the way, the fear, the nervousness, and I can just go there together, and trust my muscle memory, I like to think it would be an entirely different show. So you guys have to hit the subscribe button to see my second time at a drift track, to see more travels out of the van, playing some sim racing as we're traveling across the United States of America in my DIY built van, and long-term plans. Hopefully a year from now I'm selling the van, buying a 4x4 Kodiak truck, building that into a tiny house, and then being able to pull a drift car on a trailer, traveling around the US, hitting all the drift tracks around the way. Moral of the story is, if you're a car guy, you plan to drift or race in real life someday, sim racing is an insanely great tool to learn how to sim drift without the cost of oil, tires, casual repairs, crashes, track days. Just to enter your car into a track is a $100 fee, and for $100 you can get a Thrustmaster TMX Pro used on Facebook Marketplace. There's a link down below for all Moza products. If you guys are going to order anything Moza, I'd appreciate using that link. It gives me a little bit of commission, and more than anything, it just shows Moza that I'm out here promoting their products so they can continue to send me stuff to review and make videos of for you guys. Consider checking out my merch store in the description. It's an Etsy link with F1, drift, and van outdoorsy styled merch that I designed myself to help pay for things like this video. This video is a major net negative. I am $500 deep into this video, and I'll probably make 20 bucks off it. So thank you very much, and we'll catch you in the next one.